Welcome to Lashback, everyone. I'm Natalyan.
And I'm Phoebe, and this week we're going to talk about work. So, Natalie Ann, tell me, what's your favorite kind of work? What do you really love to do?
So I have like two, yeah, well, I mean, I have two hats, so we'll delve in more about us on different episodes as well. But I have two main kind of funnels of work, which is obviously professional singing and program and project management. So which I love because I'm an organizer, you know.
Aren't you just? Tell me more about
Yeah.
that, though. Tell me more. What do you, when you say that, project
So
management?
I do a lot of different types of projects, big, large, private and public, sector projects, from implementing new technical systems to making organizations more efficient with their processes and sustainable, and really about I've really kind of interested in the human behavior and how you can kind of improve cultures within an organization and make it better for the people, really. So
And
I'm
this is,
very much, yeah,
and this is
so I'm
where
very much the
you and
epitome.
me, sorry, we've got some connectivity things going on today, I think. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's where you and me really work very well together, isn't it? Because process and people equals culture, doesn't it? And I do a lot of work in culture change and organizational development stuff. So no wonder that we're friends, really.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about what we do because I think it's interesting and important to kind of people to get to know us as Natalie Ann and Phoebe, the creators of Lashback Talks. But yeah, from a program project management perspective, I mean, hit me up if anyone needs any of that because I absolutely love to manage projects, any type of project. I'm very organized and really like kind of working with different levels of an organization, small businesses, large businesses, and really kind of listening. It's about listening, Phoebe, and you're very much about
Is
that in your organizational development. So tell me more about
yeah.
that.
Well, I think the favorite part of the work that I do is coaching. You know, that kind of coaching skill, working with people in a one-to-one capacity. And of course, I do that in the workplace around maybe management skill or planning or presentation or, and anything about kind of the interpersonal skills of the workplace. Then, of course, I teach singing and I teach songwriting. And, if I've had a glass of wine and we're outside of the pub and you tell me you've got a problem, then you're going to get some coaching questions. Sorry.
Definitely.
No, it's
That's
kind of,
definitely a thing. No, but that's one of your great traits, I think,
yeah,
is that you and me bonded over that is you help me with things, I help you with things. And, as the listeners probably know, we've done a lot of vocals together, whether that be in a group or backing vocals.
yeah,
And I absolutely adore that work as well and very much apply my organizational skills and management skills to music and to business.
yeah.
And it's very much about that human behavior, which again is something that I'm really quite passionate about. Looking at in organisations, looking at where are their problems, and then I like to turn the word problem or issue on its head to opportunity. So find where those touch points are, and then okay, what are the opportunities to improve that? And we do that in music as well. We
Cool.
we look to
How do I
see
make this
how we
song
can,
work?
yeah, how do we make
Yeah.
that work? What's not working? What's working? And you and me work very well with that. And your coaching skills are key in what we do, whether it's the podcast or, work we're doing on a tour or a performance. So tell me more about your coaching though. I'm really interested for the listeners to know more about that.
Well, I had a coach. A boss gave me a coach about 25 years ago, and I was like, hey, up, this is great. She's really helped me, and I quite enjoyed the conversation. So the company that provided that coach, I then went and did their course on coaching, and then started working my way through organizations in learning and development capacity, really. Now more about organizational change and development. And I've done a lot of work with people who have career wants and needs or disabilities that they need to negotiate in the workplace or, how to get to the next level in the career, lots of stuff like that. It's very, very interesting. And I've also done a fair amount of what you might call in the music industry, also a business, artistic development. So helping people really figure it out for themselves. Hang on a minute, no, I want to do this kind of music and I want to be this kind of an artist. I want to do
Yeah.
so, and it's wildly rewarding, albeit you take no credit because you don't. It's the person that you're coaching that does the work for themselves. It's wildly rewarding to
Yeah.
see people achieve what they wanted to. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely adore that. And going back to the business place, one of the recent projects that I did was very much about internal organisation and the relationship breakdown between IT and the general employees.
Ah,
And a lot of it's to do with perception or not being listened to. And a lot of these issues were so easily fixable if you just bring people in a room, sometimes in a good old fashioned setting rather than, putting it on a platform, but actually getting in a room and listening to what's not working. And a lot of those things can be fixed very, very easily with communication. And communication is something that I significantly work on across organisations, and is something that is very key in the music industry as well. And in performance, you have to be able to communicate. And I think coaching is a key thing. I think everyone should have a coach at some point in their life.
and
Um,
coaching
it, it,
skill. Coaching skill is such. It's just a good life skill.
yeah,
You don't always have to have a 50-minute coaching session to ask someone a good question at the right time. It's a really good skill in life to have. And indeed, the music industry is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. I work in film currently, and I've worked in charity sector, for health charities. I've worked for music festivals. I've done lots of kind of business, kind of UK-wide stuff. And what strikes me about the music industry is it's a bunch of entrepreneurs doing their own thing. And I, being the OD team and other, when I've had jobs and contracts and things, I kind of look around and go, there's no OD team here because everyone's an entrepreneur and they haven't got the time for that kind of space and reflection for development and strategy and thinking and collaboration. Key to that. I'd love to, when I get past this master's, really look at how I can foster some collaboration, coaching skill, that sort of stuff within the grassroots music industry more than sort of big business. Really, really, really
well,
interesting. If
definitely.
anyone's up for joining that conversation in my head, please get in touch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Lashback Talks is, we're just starting now. We're well into our 30 odd episodes, 40 odd episodes. And Lashback Talks is very much about, talking about topics, sometimes very light-hearted topics, but also what we really want to do as well is to create conversation. So we will be doing some lives at some point, and we will be inviting, listeners in to talk about certain topics and actually really start listening to people that comment about what they'd like to discuss, because that is very much in our expertise portfolio. And I think it would be silly and a waste to not, share that with the public as well. So please do comment and get involved so we can start kind of, understanding who wants to get involved in these conversations, because it's so, public speaking I've done a lot of as well. And it's therapeutic for me. It starts a conversation. It's not about being right and wrong, but it's really about kind of, all coming together as a community, a global community, to start having those conversations. And we have the expertise in that to really kind of foster that, and also maybe lead that so that it can be a conversation.
My brain has gone into 400 ideas. I don't know which one to say out loud first.
No, this
Suffering.
is a open platform. Yeah, no, but this is an open
Suffering.
platform.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's the
interesting, isn't
point.
it? I mean, the all things around business, we get fixated on number and audience and marketing and money and, bottom lines and things. But it does really come down to people and process. The process of communicating, of using the system, of updating data, of doing all of those things. And, having I don't know, a generous spirit towards other people, especially if you don't understand where they're coming from. Like finance departments and fundraising departments, always fun. Finance is saying, "Where's the money?" and finance fundraising is saying, "We don't know yet." There's inherent tension there, but both functions are really important to big business. So how do you help? How do the processes and the people negotiate that? And yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're key, we have similar areas, obviously, of, we're entrepreneurs. So we have multiple strings to our bow, if you like. So we have our music business, and then we have our, whatever you want to call professional business or something. But it comes down to the same fundamental things, doesn't it? It's humans, collaboration, communication, connecting. And we're very good at connecting those pieces. So I want to do, we're reaching time now, but we're going to have more episodes about how Natalyan and Phoebe can can assist, whether that's an entrepreneurial idea that you would like some coaching in that, or just to start a conversation, we can facilitate that.
yeah, absolutely. And let's keep all conversations going because it's good to talk. We've had a bit of a. I'm reflecting on the last couple of weeks, and there's a real theme of connection and community coming through in what we're talking about. So please do give
Definitely.
us your comments below or get in touch directly. It would be great to hear from you. And until then,
Absolutely.
we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye, guys.